might be over my troubles, since you came around.
Let's face it, sometimes doing urban photography can be quite daunting. So many buildings, people and objects getting in the way. In this week's video, I'm going to talk about ways in which I declutter.
I've been caught up in my mind.
So here's a great example of decluttering a street scene. Now, I was lucky enough here to be able to get above, so climbing up onto a part of a wall where I could look down onto the pavement below. And this had some huge advantages. If I was taking this shot from the same level as the person sitting on the bench, it would have meant that I would have had to have included far more of the street scene, and then the subject may have got lost in amongst all of that clutter. By being able to get above the subject, it gave me some really strong advantages here. Firstly, I really like the angle of looking down. It really emphasises the great textures and patterns of the cobblestones. The other thing that I've done with this shot to keep it more simple and to declutter it is to only have two main elements. So obviously the cyclist on the left-hand side taking a break with his water bottle, and then diagonally opposite the tree, and the tree works really well as well because you've got a nice pop of colour. The other thing that I really wanted to make sure I do, again, is give enough space around it. So there's plenty of room on the top left-hand side of this photo, again with a nice texture of the cobblestones. And there's also room bottom right with the same concept. And there is also enough space here between the tree and the cyclist. So overall, I'm really pleased with this shot.
'Cause I cannot fake it, no matter how I feel.
So this photo is all about the colours, the layers and the textures, and I really enjoy this type of photography. So firstly, again, very decluttered, got a clear points of interest. The character on the roof of that apartment I find really interesting. The colour of that character as well, to some degree, is reflected in the nice mauve tones of the wall. The textures of the hedge, the textures of the wall, I really enjoy as well. And I really just love this minimalistic, layered shot that I've taken here. I think overall it comes together really well as a very simple shot, but with the simple shots, it's all about getting the composition right. For this, it was about getting the right angles as well, so that those layers really complement each other and that one layer doesn't dominate. So here's another shot where I was able to look down onto the street and avoid shooting at street level. Now there's a couple of things to point out on this. Firstly, the tree on the left-hand side really dominates, but that was a deliberate choice. What I'm doing with this tree here is removing parts of the street that I didn't want to include in the photo because I wanted a decluttered look. Now, the tree does have some big advantage here because it is a nice pop of colour and it does complement the rest of the shot as well. The other thing I needed to do, obviously, was be patient and wait for the right people to walk into frame. Now, because of the brightness of the tree and the pop of colour there, I really wanted people who were wearing less bright clothing. And I was just lucky enough that these two, I think, are wearing colours of clothing that actually complement the photo rather than dominate the photo. As you can see as well, this was a time when the sun had come out, so you get the nice shadows forming. So overall, I'm really pleased with this shot. So this is a recent photo from a castle that I visited. And for this particular shot, it would have been so easy just to think about taking a shot of the castle and having the airship as a secondary character. But instead of that, I wanted to really focus in, make the airship actually the main character in the shot, and therefore simplifying the shot as well. A couple of other things to point out. On the left-hand side, I've left enough room in the sky so you can see from where the airship has come from, but I've left even more room on the right hand side because that's the direction of travel. The other thing that I really like are the colour combinations. The blue and the white of the airship is reflected in the sky and the clouds, and actually the colour of the building as well. I also enjoy the fact that the shape of the airship is somewhat replicated in the turret on the top of the castle. So every now and again, I like to do a little bit of architecture photography. Now this building is actually a cinema that is on top of a flyover, so there's a road that goes underneath this. Again, a more complicated shot would have been to try and take the whole of the cinema, but I really wanted to focus in on the details here and focus in on the patterns and the geometry, and also making use of the light as well. So I really like the shadows that are formed, which gives that extra pattern on the whole thing. And I really like the more abstract view of this cinema. So altogether, I find this shot pretty pleasing.